And then once they hatch, it will take about 3 to 4 days for them to shed the first skin. The importance of shedding the skin is that the initial skin somehow constricts their growth. So when they shed the skin that they remain with it's soft, so they can grow. So the next shedding takes within 2 to 3 days. So first it was 3 to 4 days, then it will be reduced to 2 to 3 days. The next, and it's called molting. The removing of the skin is called molting. Then the third, you will go back to 3 to 4 days. Then the fourth, it sheds 4 times. It will be 3 to 4 days. Then from the time it sheds the last skin, it will take 6 to 8 days for them to mature and start producing some saliva. They've got 2 pores on their heads. Now it's that saliva, once it meets air, it turns into silk thread. Now what it does is that during that time, it wants to protect itself because it wants to go into what we call metamorphosis, to change from a caterpillar to a pupa and then into a butterfly, or not a butterfly, a moth. But generally in Zambia, chimpereresha, isn't it? Yeah, so now what happens is that it will take 6 to 8 days to mature and start releasing that saliva. So once it starts doing that, then it will be releasing the saliva in a circular manner whilst encasing itself. Then after that, it will take 7 to 8 days. If you don't harvest that, the moth will have been made and it will cut the cocoon. Our interest is the cocoon. For the worm, the cocoon is protection from predators. For us, that's the soup we want. So what we do, we harvest the soup during that period, just within 7 days to 8 days, we harvest the cocoon. And then because if we keep them like that, the process of changing into a moth will continue. So unfortunately, we have to kill the pupa. So we push in the hot air to some room, which we call a dry room, so that the pupa dies, so that it doesn't develop into a moth. Because if it does, then it will catch the moth, then it will lose. Now one cocoon, if you put it in hot water and it unravel or unwind itself, it is 1 kilometer long. Just small, you will see for this one. So the stuff outside is not silk. This is what it's used to hang itself on. But the soup is this one. So once you throw it in hot water, you can go with it. Once you throw it in the honorable, we've given you that one. So it will take, if you throw it in hot water, when it unwinds itself, it will be 1 kilometer long. Just this thing is 1 kilometer long. So 10 of these, if you put them together, okay, one of these will form what we call a filament. But a filament is so thin that you cannot use it to make clothes. So 6 to 10 of these, when you put them together, twist them together, they form a thread, a silk thread, which we call a yarn. That's the stuff that we now use to make the silk clothing. So initially, our plan was to be exporting cocoons. But when we looked at the value analysis thing, we realized that we would actually make more money if we sold the silk. Because for a ton of this, it's about 450,000 kwacha, 1 ton. For silk, 1 ton, it's 1.8 million kwacha. So why can't we just go and finish it up? So initially, those buildings that you are seeing there, we'll take you there if you have time. Those are the buildings where we keep these worms that produce this. We wanted to make only 8 because we are going to be exporting only cocoons. But because now we are going to start producing silk, we are going to build 100 of these. They'll be scattered all around it. So here we have got, we are going to build 30 here. But then we'll scatter them around the farm. Like I said, the farm is 6,339 hectares. And that workplace that you are seeing from there to there is a kilometer. The land goes like this. And then the larger part of the land is between the Kanchiria and the Chilonga River. Okay. So what we have cleared so far is just 250 hectares. And we have planted mulberry on 180 hectares. The mulberry that we are now using to feed this. This is a nursery. This is not the main farm. Our main farm will be up across the river. We intend to build 150 houses for staff, junior staff. Then we'll build 20 houses for management. We are going to build a hospital with a capacity of 40 beds. The same way, if you've been to Lusaka Makopolo there, our sister company, has built a hospital there. The same hospital will be transplanted here. So exactly the same that is there is what we're going to do here. Then we realize that from Mpika to Kasama, there's no filling station around. We're going to put up a filling station. If those who are here, you know where Mr. Mlenga used to stay. That's where we're going to put a filling station. Then we intend to upgrade. By May this year, I intend to employ 2,000 people. So I'm already behind heavy because I've only employed 400. So I need to employ about 2,000 people by May this year. Now those people have got families, okay, and the children will have to go to school. So we have looked around and we realized that there are 2 primary schools that we want to upgrade. We chose Mutamba. Of course, not on our own. We sat down with the community. We have formed what we call as a village committee. We sit every 3 months, and I'm one of the members. I'm just a mayor member. So the idea is whatever problems they have, they share with me, then I transfer them to management. Then if you also have complaints, like before, just 3 months ago, I had complaints with thefts. So we called the police officers to come and talk to the community, and the committee was involved in organizing the people around so that we could actually find a solution. And so far, so good. After that chat, we have no problem at all. So, I was saying we are going to build a school. We are going to upgrade that school, Gamba, to grade 4. 3 months ago, we had a meeting with the Debs, where she was telling us that it's a policy that we don't have to attach a new building to an old building. And therefore, we have to build separate buildings from the buildings that you have seen there. And then we were informed that the school has a lot of land. So we don't think it's a problem. By March, we promised that by March we'll start the construction. And the reason is this. At the moment, we are not producing anything to sell to make money. We are piggybacking on the economic strength of our holding company, which is wonderful group of companies. So even our salaries, whatever we're doing, the whole money is coming from there. But we are saying by next month, end of next month, we are going to export the first couple. So we'll start making money. And then we are saying by March, we'll have enough money. Now, just to give you a picture of how profitable this business is. 1 hectare of mulberry will be able to feed worms. That will give you tonnage per year of 4.5 tons. Now multiply 450,000 kwacha by 4.5 tons. You are going to make 2.1 million kwacha per year from 1 hectare. So, that's why every time I say people get involved in this business, we've been telling people around that, you know, you should get involved in this outgrower scheme. And there's that initiative. It had to take chiefs all the way from Southern Province, because I went there, I gave a presentation, and they were very happy. Within 1 week, they followed me. The all 23 chiefs, and they came with 33 farmers. And already, they've started cultivating. That's how serious our friends are. They've already started cultivating. Meanwhile here, the people that we talk to, our own people that most of us displaced, I haven't seen anyone growing this mango. It is just only one woman from Chironga. And that woman, I went to the palace to meet the chief. I was explaining, she was listening. And when I came out, she followed me and said she was interested. So I thought she was joking. Even 1 month, she called me to go and see. She had done 1 hectare of marble. And we'll be buying marble from her. And what we are saying is that in the near future, each chiefdom is going to provide 2,000 hectares of land where they are going to grow marble. That is their marble. That is their land. We are going to move in and build those houses, the warehouses and dryers, and we will provide worms, not from the eggs, because from the eggs up to the second stage, you know those stages that I was talking about. Yes. The worms are susceptible to diseases. So we don't want to transfer that risk to the farmers. We want to keep the worms up to stage number 2. Then give you the worms at that stage they don't die. So that we hold the risk. Because what will happen is that, like the example of Southern Province, once you have, in their case, once you have 2,000 hectares, we move in, we build the buildings, and then we put the dryers. Then we bring the eggs. This man here you're seeing is from Southern Province. He's the one who's going to be in charge of the whole Southern Province. His name is Malala. This man was trained during Kaunda's era. You know this project, it was nearly started in Zambia by Kaunda, at Nanga. Nanga? Yes. But you see the usual thing with the nature of politics. sometimes what was good yesterday might not be good to them. So I think that time when the President Chiluba took over, I think that the project was discarded. But even the equipment was discarded. Imagine, they had bought the equipment which is still lying at Mount Makuru. So I think it is even rotting. So these people, he was trained in India for 3 years. So he's one of the people that we have employed, and he'll be in charge of the whole southern province. So he'll be going around to see how they are planting the mulberry, and later on when we start, these eggs will not be coming from here. Each province will have what we are going to do as a breeding station, where we'll have people like him who know how to hatch the eggs and keep the worms up to second stage. Then the farmers can be coming there and say, my mulberry has grown, I need 2,000 worms. Okay, here. You take, then those worms, when you produce, we buy the cocoons, we remove the cost of the worms. But not everything. It will be amortized over a period of time. So we don't want to keep our farmers under what we call debt trap. No, there'll be nothing like that. Even the price of the cocoon will be something that we'll discuss on. It will be consultative. There'll be nothing like imposing the price on the farmer. That's the kind of scheme that we're entering. This gentleman came last week. I sat down with him to just finalize on the project that we're going to start in South. And he's going back next week, because there, it's unfortunate that when they had started now, the places are flooded. I was talking to Chief Macha 2 days ago. He was complaining because he had found already 200 hectares and they had started planting, but all the stuff has been washed away. So it's really unfortunate. And we've also trained some people from Northwestern Province. Next week we expect people from Central Province. I'm yet to receive information pertaining people from Chinga. We need to train people from here too, but I haven't received any information pertaining that. I received the people from Southern Province, I've trained them. We have trained people from Northwestern Province. Next week, Central Province is coming. I've not yet heard anything pertaining people coming from Chinga or Northern Province. So, in summary, I think that's Your Honorable, that's the kind of business we're in. And from there, you can sit down and realize how much profitable this thing is. Yes, it's capital intensive when you're starting, but once you just settle, it's a money spin. Unless there are questions.
Thank you so much.
If there are questions, but you can be talking maybe whilst I don't know how much time, Your Honorable, you have.
I'd say to appear on radio at 80.
And it's unfortunate that you've just come. We were just harvesting this last batch 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Now they are in the drying room, so that we can kill. But you don't worry, Honorable, that one is already dead.
Thank you so much, Captain. I think this is a project that will change the face of Mpika. And not only in Mpika, but in Chinga at large. So it will take a lot of sensitization in other districts such as Chinsari, Mango, and so on. Suffice to say that around here there have been a number of concerns like some people do not understand the project well. Also the attitude of our people and the councillor here, we just from being told that no, the conditions of service at the project are hard. Even when you are sick, they will still dismiss you that you have been fluent from absent from weather. And then the other concerns are that people are fearing this project might be taken to southern province. So all those concerns, Captain, but from what you have explained, something that is southern province. This is just a risk professional. What is happening in the southern province so that our country can become a silk basket, I would say. So on the issue of the workers, I'm sure it's something that we can touch upon. But so far for me, as member of parliament, I'm very happy to have learned that people very soon will be making millions of dollars from this country. the way I wish that in sensitize them so that they can also venture into the growing of snowball and the other flags that feed what's the name?
Silkworms.
Silkworms, yes. I met His Royal Highness, I'm sure, last week, and he was also of the concern that our people should get involved in our grower schemes of this kind of project. So, from my office, we are going to partner in terms of sensitization and sensitize the importance of this project, as well as what they can benefit from this project. Yeah, because they should take ownership of the project, knowing too well that they are also going to benefit, they are going to become the billionaires of tomorrow when they take advantage of this project. And His Royal Highness, the chief, is ready to give them land for cultivation of tomatoes. So I'm very happy, Captain, that this project actually is a game changer as far as the economic activity are concerned.
Thank you so much.
Talk now exclusive
This project is not going anywhere. The processing is here. So whatever will be harvested in Southern Province, Western Province, in fact, from what I've heard, is that it's a president's wish that this thing is spread countrywide.
Yes.
That's why we trained in Western Province, Southern Province, now Central coming. This will be a training center. But don't think that this thing will be shifted to Southern Province, because the equipment, we've spent about 14 million United States dollars to buy the equipment which is coming to be in these warehouses. So there's no way we can replicate again, build another one in Southern Province and spend another 14 million. Except one thing you should know is that this thing is going to be making 93 million United States dollars each year. So the $14 million that we've spent is not literally nothing. But it's not going anywhere. I can assure you.
But Captain, you should, I would request that you work even more harder that Mpika province actually also takes the center stage of the project, because that's where it started from.
In fact, we just today we were meeting Chief Lieutenant, Chief Kapyanga, and Chief Kapyanga. Chief Kapyanga has yeah, he's promised to provide 3,000. Chief Lieutenant is giving 4,000. Not to give us, but it will be their project, and we are going to build warehouses there, dryers there. Then this kind of operation, it's not just where you talk. No, they are what we call as contract farming. So before you start farming, we sign so that you are assured that you have got a ready market. So you don't grow something that you are not going to sell. So you are assured if we don't sell, you take us to court, because we have signed. You say we'll buy all your mulberry to feed the worms. And then once we give you the worms, we'll buy all the worms from you. But later on, I know people might grow muscles and start even competing with us.
But no one competes with the giant. No beauty competes with the giant. So, thank you so much.
The Honorable would wish that you would always be coming here to give us encouragement, because your presence actually is an encouragement to us, because it shows that our area member of parliament has seen value in what we are doing, and that is encouraging to us. It gives us a push.
And soon we will.
There is one part the Honorable has forgotten. We have another Honorable from another constituency outside the province.
Oh.
And I would actually sell the idea to my fellow members of parliament, so that one day we take the whole Mpika province, all the MPs take for a tour of this project.
In fact, apart from that, there's a program I think that has been led. I don't know if it will be changed. That in February, I will go to give a presentation to Paramount. So that maybe if you bring us down to Paramount, the other chiefs also get it.
Yeah.
Just like because the problem that we have realized is this. People from Western Province, all those that came were actually from political offices, like chairman, vice chairman. So after being trained, when they went back there, now they have found a problem to get land because they didn't involve the chiefs. Okay. So now I've been told to go and give a presentation to the chiefs. And like what happened with Southern Province, because I started with the chiefs, so the chiefs understood this. So it was very easy for the chiefs to release the land. So I think it's important that the chiefs get involved.
She's Honorable Kingston, Member of Parliament from Mandilima constituency.
Okay. Yeah, please. In fact, our suggestion was just within here. Our suggestion was, I had a chat with Chief. I was saying, couldn't it be nice that the chiefs remember they come here as the chiefs, just like their friends did.
Yes.
So that even gives as an incentive, as something pushing the locals to say, if chiefs can actually go and see that, let's go for it. That's the idea. We are very appreciative, madam. This is giving us a lot of information.
Yes, so I'll actually get to that.
Yeah. So, and then the beauty with it, so I'm listening to
No, it's okay.
The beauty with this is that there are a lot of byproducts that you get from the mulberry and even the wine. So one, the mulberry tree is medicinal. The root is good for our Chinese guys take it for PP. So you take the root and they boil it and drink it. Those of you who have got PP, it does very well. Then the leaf is relish. Then the leaf itself is the one that they use to make green tea. That green tea that you get. So here we'll be making green tea from the mulberry. And then apart from that, you can imagine we are going to grow mulberry across 6,000 hectares. There are times when there are a lot of fruits around here. Unfortunately, you know, when I was growing here in Lusaka, we used to be beaten a lot by parents because every time we'd go out there, eat the mulberry and detain our money. You don't see kids eating the mulberry here. They just walk across the farm without doing anything. We have a lot of fruits actually here. They just go to waste. And in the future, I can foresee a situation that there will be secondary industries that will be coming, like those industries that will now jump on the chance to make some drink, maybe using them, and jam. Yes. This guy is made very nice jam. The Chinese went and wine. They just went there, got a packet and made this. It was nice. Then the pupae, again, that same pupae is food to our friends. And it's not cheap food, very expensive food. Because only when, if it was all only men, I could mention the usefulness of So we'll be selling, we are going to build a very big cold room here. Behind there we'll build a very cold room so that when we get the pupae, we pack it in packages and export it to China. Before I forget, there are a lot of companies, there are a few companies that are involved in the production of silk. There is South Africa, there is Mozambique, there is Rwanda, Kenya, Egypt and Uganda. But they cannot sell silk direct to EU. No, EU. Asia they can, but not EU. Why? Because EU wants only the silk that is certified and graded. I'll be happy to tell you that out of the $14 million United States dollars that we've spent in buying the equipment, $5 billion United States dollars has gone to buy the equipment that will be used to certify the silk. So Zambia will be the only country in Africa to be certifying silk. So here, after certifying, we'll be able to sell direct to EU. Apart from that, countries like those that I've mentioned, those that have been producing silk but cannot sell the silk to EU because it's not certified, they will be sending their silk to Zambia to be certified. What a great thing.
No, Mpika has really achieved.
Mr. Mulenga, Frank Mulenga, is the Chief Financial Officer for the whole group.
Okay.
And they've come to audit us.
Okay.
So,
What is that?
I'm trying to be very good so that even as they write reports, they what, like in southern province, each chiefdom is ready to provide 2,000 hectares. If you can provide 2,000 hectares, then we'll move in and build the warehouses while you keep in the wild. So we'll build the warehouses and then we'll be bringing the worms. Then you'll be feeding those worms from the mountains that you've brought. But that worms, the worms that we have sent are not free, but you'll be paying overtime. When you produce, you come, we get something for the worms. Then we go back with you in mental. Because your marble is yours. So it's just the worm. So we'll meet at the worm.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you.